Hi guys, welcome once again this week, Sunday. This week, Sunday. I am Rijula Banarkar from the podcast Cricket from the Stands, and I'm present here yet again with my two amazing co-hosts, Pavan Verma and Kanan Nair. Hello Pavan, hi Kanan, and hi, hello to everybody, to all the audiences that are watching our show on a regular basis and even present today. आज भी हम लोग ऐसे कुछ टॉपिक्स के बारे में बात करेंगे आईपीएल के जो कल हम लोग थोड़ा छोड़ चुके थे। और जैसे कि आप दोनों को भी पता है कि थोड़ा पॉइंट्स टेबल का अभी सीन चालू है बिकॉज देयर वर 4 टीम्स इन लाइन इन ऑर्डर टू क्वालिफाई और सबका रन रेट के हिसाब से चालू था कौन जीतेगा कौन हारेगा। द फर्स्ट टॉपिक हम लोग लेट्स गेट राइट अवे टू द फर्स्ट टॉपिक। और जो फर्स्ट टॉपिक था वो आज का दोपहर का मैच था, मुंबई इंडियंस वर्सेस द सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद, which the Mumbai Indians have comprehensively won. They have chased down a total of 200 easily, and with Cameron Green hitting 100 in just 47 deliveries. So with this Mumbai Indians को points तो मिल गया है, लेकिन आज ऐसा कह रहे हैं कि गुजरात टाइटंस वर्सेस आरसीबी का जो ये सेकंड मैच है जो अभी चालू है उसमें उसमें पता चलेगा कि आज कौन क्वालिफाई करता है, बिकॉज आज ये तो डिसाइड हो ही जाएगा कि कौन क्वालिफाई करने वाला है। So it's either going to be Mumbai Indians or Rajasthan or Royal Challengers Bangalore. So if Royal Challengers win, it's an easy qualification for them, and if they lose by any chance, it's going to be an easy qualification for the Mumbai Indians. So match तो हो गया है. So what is your take on it? I would still like to ask. कल तक तो हम लोग बहुत confused थे, लेकिन आज थोड़ा सा clear लग रहा है इनका race. So yeah, I would like to start with Kanan and would like to ask his opinion on this.
Definitely. So, Jessa, we all knew the point table is going to be all tricky and turvy for us. But Mumbai Indians के वो मैच से काफी कुछ सिंपल हो गया है and it is very much easier and straightforward from now on. एक तो मुंबई जीता और मुंबई स्टिल अंदर नहीं आ पा रहा है. They have to pray the rain gods की बारिश हो जाए. बहुत प्रार्थना भी जोरों शोरों से हुई थी. But unfortunately, it stopped raining in Bengaluru and the match has begun. And Gujarat जीतते ही they would be able to reserve a seat in the playoffs, and vice versa अगर गुजरात हार जाता है then RCB would be through and the five-time IPL champions would be knocked out in the group stage itself. So talking about the match, it was a very exciting match, Rujula, and Mumbai Indians का intent was like very positive from the first ball. वहाँ पे we could see ईशान किशन trying to hit boundaries. देन उन्होंने प्रमोट करा कैमरन ग्रीन को टू नंबर 3 एंड जैसे ही वो नंबर 3 पे आया एंड ही वाज ऑल गन्स ब्लेजिंग डूड, मतलब he was in a different mood altogether.
Yes.
And he started hitting the ball. He scored a 47 ball 100, which is at a strike rate of 212, 8 sixes, 8 fours, which is which
Wow.
is which is something very great. And उसके जैसा जो $17 million बेबी है ये भी the second highest bidder, इसने कहीं ना कहीं मुंबई को अपने इंस्टॉलमेंट्स इंटरेस्ट के साथ वसूल करके दिया है, which Sam Curran wasn't able to do. But yeah, all in all, a very good match, and the rest, Mumbai's faith is in RCB's and GT's hand today.
Yeah. So Cameron Green has been actually phenomenal since the second half of the tournament. He was not that much present in the games when the first half was going on. So सब लोग का थोड़ा confusion था कैमरन ग्रीन को लेके
Correct.
कि कुछ करने वाले हैं या कुछ नहीं करने वाले हैं, because he was also, as you said, he was the second highest bidder for in the IPL this time. So Pavan, I would like you to say something about Cameron or Mumbai Indians in general.
I would like to I'd like to talk about the Cameron Green. I guess a very young talent, 23, 24 years old, coming from Australia, and a price tag behind him, 17.5 crore. And that is too in the crucial game. He was promoted ahead of Surya Kumar Yadav at number 3.
Yes.
And again, a pressure game where you already have to chase 200. And the first innings went very well, where Mayank Agarwal, Vivrant Sharma, who debuted for SRH, and they played a great innings. Then Cameron Green comes in, and then early wicket fell for Mumbai Indians. So it was brilliant to see such youngsters to take onus on him and try to deliver in such a tough situation. That talks about the character of that individual and how well he has gelled with this team. So
Correct.
14 matches he has played. I would say 380, 381 runs he has scored on the average of 54, 53. It's a great number for a 23,
Absolutely.
24 years old playing for the first time in India. That is not in Australia, because that sometimes it becomes difficult. We have seen players like Harry Brook coming from 13
Absolutely.
crore. He was bought for SRH and his average was just 21. He did not score many runs throughout the season. So we have
Absolutely.
seen players succumb to the pressure of IPL, but we have seen some of them rising above all those pressure
Exactly.
situations, and Cameron Green in one of those players. So brilliant season, I would say, for that individual. Mumbai Indians goes ahead here or not, time will tell. Maybe in the next 2 3 hours we'll get to know. But Cameron Green has done everything that was in his power to take Mumbai Indians to the 16 points.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So yeah, so we've talked about Cameron Green and Mumbai Indians. So यहाँ पे clear है हम लोग ने जैसे कहा if RCB wins they get through and if RCB loses GT wins Mumbai Indians get through. तो कल से आज काफी clear हो गया है scenario. But let's see what happens because it was raining. So pitch में थोड़ा सा differences आया होगा. Pitch damp होगा, ground damp होगा अभी. तो देखना होगा कि कितना स्कोर हो पाता है आज की मैच में फर्स्ट और सेकंड दोनों भी इनिंग्स में. So let's move on to the next topic that is going to be about CSK. So a team that surprised all. Actually, everybody expects CSK to be in the top four because they are one of those teams though that always makes the top four. So
Correct.
as always, they have made it again. और धोनी के टीम से दो लोग ने काफी इस बार अच्छा किया है. So we would like to talk about two individuals very like specifically. Those are Ruturaj Gaikwad and Devon Conway. So Ruturaj का इस सीजन स्कोर हुआ है 504 runs and Devon Conway has scored 585 runs. So if you see, Ruturaj Gaikwad started early and better than Devon Conway. Devon and Ruturaj were opening the match for Chennai Super Kings, but Devon was not doing that well. If you have noticed, Devon was not timing the ball that really well, and he did not look in touch in the first few games. सो दैट टाइम वी वर लाइक कि अरे यार इसको क्यों ओपनिंग करा रहे हैं हर मैच में फिर भी ओपनिंग कर रहा है इवन दो इज नॉट स्कोरिंग रन्स इवन दो इज नॉट लुकिंग इन टच बट ऋतुराज गायकवाड लुक्ड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ हिज लाइफ ड्यूरिंग द फर्स्ट हाफ अजिंक्य राणे के साथ भी उन्होंने पार्टनरशिप किया था सो मेच्योरिटी भी दिखी थी एक्सप्लोसिवनेस भी दिखा था सब कुछ दिखा था ऋतुराज गायकवाड से all round batting performance दिखा था but yet Devon Conway did really well in the second half of the tournament and he has proceeded like he has just moved forward Ruturaj Gaikwad and he's on 585 runs now close to 600 and Ruturaj is still on 504. So what do you think about them individually? Is something lacking in one or the other of them or both are like equally good so the runs don't matter? I would like Pawan to start this time.
When the team has reached to the 17 points from the 14 games, I don't think so there is any question whether of their abilities. They had been perfectly fine and doing really well for Chennai Super Kings. Scoring 500 runs in a season is not a joke. Not many players would do in a season. And what Devon Conway had done for Chennai Super Kings and what Ruturaj Gaikwad has done for Chennai Super Kings had been brilliant this season. Devon Conway, on the other hand, 650s in this season, which is just second after the Fab Duplessis, who has 850s in this season. So I would not say he is having any bad season. Brilliant
Absolutely.
individual who has molded to the Chennai Super Kings batting lineup brilliantly. Because and on top of it is most of the runs and most of the 50s has come in Chennai ground, which is a spinning track and where scoring runs is not easy. And he has won most of the matches to Chennai Super Kings while chasing, putting runs on the board on Chennai grounds most of the time. So brilliant. I would say कि season Devon Conway is having. There is a contrast style of playing for both of them. While Ruturaj Gaikwad has not scored these many 50s, but he still has hit 500 runs. The reason being his role in this entire playing 11 was to boost the power play run rate. So he was always scoring 30s, 20s, 25s, 30s, 35s. Like this, he was not scoring 50s. He does not have these many 50s like Devon Conway. But his strike rate in the power play is just after three players, I would say, where I've seen Ishan Kishan power play strike rate is 147, Fab Duplessis is around 160, 167, and Jaiswal is 174. And this guy, Ruturaj Gaikwad, has power play strike rate of 147, which is the fourth best in the tournament so far, and who has played at least 150 ball during this entire duration. So a brilliant way of seeing things. Well, Devon Conway is holding one hand and continuing the innings, playing the anchor role. Ruturaj Gaikwad coming and giving them boost in the power play. He gets out, not a big deal because Ajinkya Rahane comes in, Shivam Dubey comes in, who continue taking the strike rate and net and run rate to the higher level. So a brilliant season for both of them. Ruturaj Gaikwad, not in the last season, the previous season also had 600 runs, where Chennai Super Kings lift the title the fourth time in IPL history. So I don't see there is any concern with their batting. They both had been brilliant for Chennai Super Kings, and any team, every captain would like to have such an opening pair as destructive as them to be in their arsenal. And that's what Mahendra Singh Dhoni would be proud of after this campaign.
Yeah, sometimes scoring 30s consistently is much more important than scoring hundreds of 50s in one or two matches. Scoring 30s is a good way of telling people that you are in touch of good batting and that you can take stand for your team and you can deliver for your team every day or any day.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Kanan, what would you like to add to this?
So yes, we have talked like enough about their individual brilliance कि दोनों के individual runs क्या थे. I would like to dwell more on the topic of how they have combined as a partnership as an opening stand for CSK. So they have already gone past the famous Mike Hussey and Raina ka partnership, and they have like hit now 4 centuries, 100 plus stands. चार बार करने वाले they have become the only CSK pair in the history of IPL for CSK. They have batted Hasi and Raina. They have batted Hasi and Vijay, which was two. And apart from if I talk about not just CSK but overall 100 plus opening partnerships specifically in IPL,
Yeah.
they have become the sixth pair, Ruturaj Gaikwad and Devon Conway, to hit four 100 plus stands. Above them are just Virat Kohli, Fab du Plessis, Chris Gayle, Virat Kohli, Mayank Agarwal and KL Rahul, David Warner and Johnny Bairstow, and David Warner again with Shikhar Dhawan. So they have become in an elite group of players. जो भी मैंने ऊपर players के नाम बता, they are an elite players already, and they are only behind. They have tied at number three with all the Mayank Agarwal, KL Rahul, Chris Gayle, Kohli, and Kohli,
Yeah.
Fab du Plessis at four. बस उनको और दो पार्टनरशिप, दो 100 plus पार्टनरशिप चाहिए to be tied with David Warner, Shikhar Dhawan, and one more if they can better it up to make it 700 plus partnership. So as a opening combination as a pair, they are a brilliant combination. I would say not very much. I would say probably the best opening partnership along with ABD. I mean Virat Kohli and Fab du Plessis in this year's IPL for sure.
Yes. Yes, definitely. So, yeah, as we said, CSK have qualified for the 12th time in those playoffs out of the 14 times that they've stepped on the ground. So, yeah, let's move on to the next topic. So, this time we're going to talk about two teams, those who have been
I would
addict.
like to take 1 minute and talk about Chennai Super Kings and their campaign so far
Okay, okay.
uh, for the last 14 seasons. So not much, but in the last 14 season, there isn't any team. It was only Mumbai Indians who has qualified for the eighth time so far in the IPL history. But Mumbai Indians has played 16 season, while Chennai Super King has only played 14 season. And out of those 14 season, they have they have reached to the playoffs 12 times, 9 time finals they have played, and they have won four trophies. So it has been a brilliant, brilliant captaincy, I would say, from Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who has been leading them all this way. In 2022, they did not qualify, and I guess again 2020. So 2022, when MS Dhoni was not captain, only time, but most of the time when Dhoni was there, I guess they had made the playoff every time. So
Yes,
a
Absolutely,
great achievement for Chennai Super King.
absolutely.
absolutely, Pawan, bang on
So
that.
yeah, let's move on to the next topic. So this time we are going to talk about two teams, Delhi Capitals and Kolkata Knight Riders, जिनका इस बार का कैंपेन तो खत्म हो चुका है. Delhi Capitals became the first team in this IPL to be eliminated from the group stage. So yes, so we are going to be talking about both the teams simultaneously because दोनों का भी हमको report card और positives negatives यही बताना है. So yeah, I would like Kanan to start, and the first team that we will take is Delhi Capitals. So Kanan, what do you say?
Absolutely. So we have talked about enough on Delhi Capitals already. Ki, a very confused management, leading to a very confused decisions from the captain. But I would like to specifically talk about three areas: batting, their middle order and their bowling. Batting में we saw them experimenting with the top order a lot. प्रीति शॉ को लिए बिठा दिए then experimented with Phil Salt, but the only silver lining for them throughout the tournament was David Warner. वो वहाँ पे चल गया. Then in the middle order we saw n number of players being used. राइली रूसो को ले लिया, मिचेल मार्श को बीच में खिला दिया, मनीष पांडे को खिला दिया, ललित यादव को खिला दिया, and what not. मतलब हर एक प्लेयर को ट्राई करा दिया. They failed miserably. The only silver lining again was in that middle order was the form of Akshar Patel, the batter. But उसको भी enough chances दिए ही नहीं वो लोगों ने. मतलब they did not utilize him well enough, which we have talked about so many times on this podcast
Yes.
already. And their bowling, I felt uh, this is something that I feel we have not talked about so far. Kuldeep Yadav, the wrist spinner, under Rishabh Pant, was a different bowler altogether. Versus Kuldeep Yadav, the wrist spinner under David Warner is a different player altogether. That is what I feel. उसका वो एक जिप जो लॉट आया था पिछले सीजन वो वापस चले गया इस सीजन. ऐसा लगा he wasn't able to be at his best. Neither was any of the other spinners. कोई एक prominent spinners था ही नहीं in Delhi's team जो उनको मैच जिता सके या विकेट दिला पाए. The only good thing in the bowling department again was the veteran and as we like to call gold ईशान शर्मा जो आया मचा दिया काफी अच्छे से and उसने वो दिखा दिया कि he has still got it to be like at the international stage. So all in all, a very bad season for them, and I would like to see Rishabh Pant coming next year and stabilizing that middle order and taking the captainship hat once again, so that at least they are not a team to be standing at the bottom of the table. That is for 100% sure.
Absolutely.
Yes, Pawan.
Yeah, so Kannan has covered most of the things. I would not like to repeat them again, but I would just like to add a couple of things here. David Warner did not look in the kind of touch we have seen David Warner, the kind of player he is in the T20 cricket, but in the later half of it, I guess he had done brilliantly. Another 500 run season.
Correct.
Maybe his strike rate is not that as great. We had talked enough about it, but at the end of the tournament, he has ended with 130, 135 a strike rate, which is decent enough. Ishan Sharma, great positive. Bowling unit entirely could not click, and their batting had been a debacle for this entire season.
Absolutely.
Uh, Keeper, I would little try to dwell on the keeping role where I guess they had played too many players there. Where Rishabh Pant was not there, they had Phil Salt from the beginning. They could have used him effectively because Phil Salt was coming from South Africa 20 League where he had a brilliant season. He had more than 300 runs. He could have come and directly fit in these conditions. They delayed him. Sarfaraz Khan came in. They played Ashok Porel. And they kept changing in between those players. When they by the time they realized Phil Salt came in, he stabilized himself. I guess by the time they already had lost enough number of matches, they could not make a great comeback. So Akshar Patel, great positive. Hopefully, continue doing the same what he has been doing. Coming from a Border Gavaskar Trophy, a great season he was having, and then coming here doing the thing that he does really well, batting down the order. So these are some positives I would say for uh, Delhi Capitals. Top performer for me in Delhi Capitals is Akshar Patel. I would say without a doubt, he is somebody who's been holding the one end for them in the first 5 to 7 games. If you would see where either it was David Warner or Akshar Patel, there wasn't anybody in between. So it's a great thing to see somebody Indian player doing great things, having a good season. Would augurs well for them in the upcoming season. So I wish them a great luck. Probably they come good with Rishabh Pant's presence in the next year, and they would try to dominate as they had been playing a dominating cricket so far.
Yeah, we definitely wish Rishabh Pant to recover as quickly as possible and get back to cricket. So yeah, let's move on to the next team that is going to be Kolkata Knight Riders. With Mumbai Indians win, Kolkata was knocked out of the points table of the qualification race. So the biggest positive for me, I would just like to tell before both of you start, was definitely Rinku Singh. And I think he is also one of those players that we would like to see on the international cards very, very
Correct.
soon. So Surya Kumar Yadav, Rinku Singh, and we were talking about, yeah, Yashasvi Jaiswal. These three players I would definitely like to see in the international scene as soon as possible. So yeah, Pavan, what do you think about the Kolkata Knight Riders team?
To talk about the KKR campaign, I guess first they lost their captain, then came the Nitish Rana out of the blue. Everyone was thinking it would be Andre Russell who might be captaining the team, but it was
Correct.
Nitish Rana who was given the cape. And this individual did not disappoint as much we would have expected. He did brilliantly with the limited resources he had in the team. But there are many things that went wrong for KKR, I would say. First, it took them enough time to understand who is their top two. And I guess this is the only team who has experimented mostly with their top order. Where close
Absolutely.
to, I guess, nine pair they have changed in the 14 games. They have used Jagadishan, they have used Mandeep, they have used Venkatesh Iyer, they have used Litan Das, they have used Rahman Anulla Gurbaz, and they have used Jason Roy. By the time Jason Roy came, I guess, as the replacement of Litan Das, they realized who is their opening pair. But they kept changing, and I guess somewhere they did not. It took them enough time to understand who is their opening pair. So
Correct.
it was the one of the most talking point in KKR's entire campaign this season. And the another thing that did not work for them, in my point of view, is that they had Shardul Thakur, they had brought in Shardul Thakur, they had brought in Loki Ferguson, they had brought in Rahmanullah Gurbaz as well, right? But I don't think so. They had used effectively Shardul Thakur as Delhi Capitals were using, and Loki Ferguson as GT was using in the last season. Loki Ferguson, I have not seen playing more than 2 to 3 games in the first few games he played,
Correct.
and Shardul Thakur had always been underballed throughout the season.
Yeah,
I don't think
Absolutely.
so. I don't think I'm seeing him bowling 4 over quota anytime. I haven't seen him even 3 overs. I haven't seen him bowling. So those two things, that is something I found really strange from KKR's management point of view, where Chandrakant Pandit they brought in, who had been a veteran in domestic cricket and knows things in and out, knows the pulse of youngsters and everything. He had won many Ranji trophies to the Madhya Pradesh, to Vidarbha. Everywhere he goes, he's a golden arm individual. But he could not do what was expected of him with the KKR, and probably one of those things they might want to reflect back and try to understand where things went wrong. Shakibul Hassan was not present for half of the time, and he did not travel to India at all. And on top of it, one more thing that I would like to add is the Andre Russell and Sunil Narayan, those two foreigners who had been the backbone of KKR for all these years. For the last 2 seasons, we are not seeing the kind of batting and bowling they brought onto the table, and the kind of season and the explosive batter under Russell is. I guess it has vanished somewhere. Probably it needs a revival, and that is something KKR would definitely love to reflect on. Maybe Sunil Narayan just had 10 to 11 wickets in this season. Andre Russell hardly score any runs anywhere. I haven't seen him doing that great. So poor season for these two foreigners, which had been the backbone for KKR all this season, and inexperienced bowling unit. You don't see in the entire bowling unit where Umesh Yadav was there, Tim Saudi was there, but you haven't seen them bowling. Umesh Yadav had been struggling with injuries, and then youngsters came in. So few positives there with Harshit Rana coming in, Vaibhav Arora bowling few overs here and there, Suyash Sharma coming in. On top of it, Nitish Rana doing good, Venkatesh Iyer good, Rinku Singh you directly point out. So few positives here and there, but they would definitely need to reflect back and try to build a team around these players. Indian core, which had been the strength this season, while Shreyas Iyer was not there, and foreign players were not doing as was expected from them.
yeah. Kanan, you would like to add something?
Yes, Pawan, I almost covered everything there with even the minutest details. I would just
Yes.
like to add on one thing there. Just probably their campaign went wrong exactly where after their third match. जहाँ पे fourth match against Sunrisers, 4, 5, 6, 7 they lost 4 matches on the trot. और वो चार
Mhm.
मैचेस आई फेल्ट इज समथिंग दैट इज हैव इम्पैक्टेड देम कंप्लीटली बिकॉज उसकी वजह से पूरा मोमेंटम ऊपर नीचे हो गया एंड दे weren't able to get back up ever after that. So that is something that impacted them. And I also feel probably one thing that we missed out on was a bit of confused captainship from Nitish Rana as well, जहाँ पे उसने जैसा अपन भाई ने rightly called out, uh, like someone like Shardul Thakur only bowled 21 overs in 9 innings. That is less than 2.3 overs in any other game. Ander Russell, who is known to be a good bowler, bowled only 15 overs in 9 innings. That is less than 1.8 overs in any of the games. So that is something that they could have utilized well. Even in the last game that we saw, Suyesh Sharma was brought in as a substitute in the first innings. 14वें ओवर में लेके आए थे उसको, एंड ही एंडेड अप बॉलिंग जस्ट 1 ओवर. अगर तुमको एक ही ओवर के लिए सब्स्टिट्यूट लेके आना था, तो that doesn't make sense to me as a cricket fanatic, to be honest. So that's all in a nutshell for KKR.
And just one more minute on Rinku Singh, I would say this player deserves 1 minute at least, where what he has done for KKR is something unbelievable. This
Absolutely.
season, he has scored more than 470 runs for as many as matches. Entire season, he played the first time, and it has been the highest run scorer in the history of IPL who is coming below number five. And there is
Correct.
nobody in the last 16 season who has scored these many runs. And on top of it, the kind of finishing abilities this young individual possesses, as you rightly said, there might be a chance then he could get an Indian cap. It might be far distance or it might be in near future because 2020 World Cup is still in 2024. So there is still time for it. But would definitely love to see this youngster Indian players because yesterday also he almost pull
Yeah.
off that game where it was highly improbable to win that game. So it
Absolutely.
this is these kind of players we are missing in Indian team definitely. We have seen Hardik Pandya doing things. We have seen uh, Ravindra Jadeja doing things, but
Absolutely.
somebody like Rinku Singh comes in and he delivers when it is needed the most. This guy has never disappointed, has never disappointed
Correct.
because scoring
Always not.
470 runs requires enough mental strength, and I guess this guy
Absolutely.
has been phenomenal.
And
Absolutely.
I think if they don't play him as soon as possible, they might be wasting a talent like Rinku Singh because he is in the form of his life right now. He's quite confident because he's doing well in one of the biggest tournaments in the world. And what is bigger than IPL, at least in India? और
Absolutely.
इंडियन यूथ का टूर्नामेंट है यार, इंडियन यूथ के लिए होता है, सब लोग बोलते हैं जैसे. सो हियर वी गेट न्यू प्लेयर्स, some players get to shine, they can showcase their talents just like Rinku did. So yeah, definitely we would like to see him as soon as possible. That was the reason. So
We
moving
have
on.
seen Hardik Pandya, we have seen Krunal
Yeah,
Pandya, we have seen
yeah,
Bumrah coming from these rings. So
Absolutely.
there is no
Even
doubt,
yeah,
even
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 but
Bumrah.
Surya Kumar Yadav.
Surya Kumar Yadav, yeah.
Yeah.
Even
So
Bumrah had been sitting for a lot of seasons till Mumbai Indians first tried him out. So he मतलब कुछ अलग ही बन गया फिर वो. तो बहुत साल बैठना पड़ता है. रिंकू सिंह ने भी बैठा है केकेआर के लिए. Yeah, everybody knows he was a substitute for years, but finally they have gotten a chance to shine, and he has not disappointed. So yeah, moving on to the next topic, we will take it. Nicholas Pooran, man on a mission this season. So Nicholas Pooran was a part of the Lucknow Super Giants, and as you can see, he has scored like over 500 runs himself, and with his best innings, it was the 50 that he hit from 15 balls. So it was the fastest 50 of this season till Yashasvi Jaiswal came in and he scored a 13 ball 50. But till then, Nicholas Pooran had scored a 15 ball 50. Plus, that innings was something else because उस इनिंग्स में उस मैच में अगेंस्ट द रॉयल चैलेंजर्स बैंगलोर इन द मैच नंबर 15, if you guys remember, he scored a 62, like he played a
balls.
60 run knock out of
Correct.
19 balls. So
Correct.
just in 15 balls में 50 बनाने के बाद the next 4 balls he scored 12 runs. So he was in some other form that day and he was just knocking the balls out of the park. So what do you think about Nicholas Pooran and why did you take this topic, Pavan, differently just to focus on Nicholas Pooran? So
I
we would
would
like.
like Kannan to start. I would
Okay,
like to finish on this topic.
okay, Kannan, you should start.
Absolutely. So as we have seen the kind of potential that Nicholas Puras have always been carrying with him. In last year, he's in 13 innings, 2022 wala season. In 13 innings, he scored 306 runs at an average of 38.25 with a best figure of 64 not out and a strike rate of 144.34. And it was very surprising for me that SRH left him alone only for other teams to grab him as a player. And usme bhi he scored 13.93% of the total SRH runs. And in this season as well, he has scored. Hello. Yeah. In this season as well, he has scored about 358 runs in at an average of
Yeah.
32.55. स्ट्राइक एस्टोनिशिंग स्ट्राइक रेट, मतलब स्ट्राइक रेट तो कुछ अलग ही खा के आया है बंदा, 173.79 की स्ट्राइक रेट से खेल रहा है एंड स्कोरिंग 15.05% ऑफ द टीम्स टोटल रन्स. सो दैट इज समथिंग दैट ही हैज डिफाइंड दिस सीजन. उसको पता है कि वो ऐसा सीजन नहीं होने वाला कि वेयर ही विल स्कोर 1000+ ऑड रन्स और 600 ऑड रन्स. ही ओनली नोज उसका इनिंग्स वुड बी बिटवीन 18 to 20 बॉल इनिंग्स, जहाँ पे उसको 50 से 60 रन मारने हैं, फिनिश करना है इनिंग्स को. एंड दैट इज समथिंग दैट ही हैज बीन डूइंग every now and then. Even if we see the last 3 innings that he has played, he scored a 13 ball 44 not out against Sunrisers Hyderabad, जहाँ पे उन्होंने मैच जिताया उनको. He scored a 30
गुस्सा
ball
निकाल दिया पूरा.
58. Correct. He scored a 30 ball 58 against Kolkata Knight Riders in the latest match, जहाँ पे उसने वापस कोलकाता को मतलब आगे पीछे टेढ़े मेढ़े सब जगह पे शॉट मार के पूरा ऊपर नीचे कर दिया स्कोर.
Yeah.
So that is what Nicholas Puran was all about, and we all knew his potential. Even in the last season, he was very brilliant, but unfortunately, SRH did not retain him. उसके पहले वाला सीजन was the only season where he was terrible, जहाँ पे सिर्फ 11 innings में उसने 85 runs मारे at an average of 7.73. But that is something that happens, and this is where you need to back players. And both the teams who did not back him, Punjab Kings and Sunrisers Hyderabad, are known to be very bad managers of people, and that is why they are at the bottom half of the
Bottom of the
table.
table. Yeah.
And the teams who have backed him, someone like an LSG, are in the top half of the table. So this is something, a man who is built a different, who is known to have potential, and who is like इसको सिर्फ एक दो प्लेयर्स नहीं, फॉरेन प्लेयर्स नहीं, फॉरेन लेजेंड्स नहीं, बहुत सारे लेजेंड्स बोल रहे हैं कि ही इज द मैन हु विल लीड वेस्ट इंडीज अगेन. एक बार तो उसने कर दिया है, ही वाज स्क्रैच्ड अगेन फ्रॉम द कैप्टनशिप. वापस वो लीड करेगा कभी ना कभी, एंड आई एम वेरी श्योर दैट ही माइट एंड अप विनिंग द टाइटल फॉर वेस्ट इंडीज वंस अगेंस्ट.
डेफिनेटली इंटरनेशनल सीन
Yeah.
में तो करना ही चाहिए. आईपीएल में हो गया अभी करके तो. यस पवन.
Yeah, very rightly mentioned. I guess he has put on all the numbers. Those were theirs. But I would like to start with what Nicholas Pooran was not able to see in Sunrisers Hyderabad. I guess he was able to find a home in Lucknow Super Giants.
Correct.
So that is something. That's how he had been. He has been treated in Lucknow Super Giants, and he has been given clarity of his role. So at the beginning, when it was asked to Gautam Gambhir that what do we expect of Nicholas Pooran, he said even if this guy wins me a match or two here and there is in this tournament, I would be more than happy to grab him for 16 crore in this IPL.
Correct.
And man, he has given more than that, I would say. He had been part of many
Absolutely.
successful run chases. The one you rightly said against the Bangalore, the one you against rightly said against SRH, and the yesterday's match against KKR, where alone single-handedly took the game away from KKR. While Rinku Singh did play a brilliant inning, but in the first innings, it was very paramount to put a total on the board where you were struggling at 70 for 5. I guess you needed somebody to come, and this guy scored 30 ball 58 run. A
Correct.
brilliant campaigner. So, and or remember this, most of his run has come below number 6 and 7. The kind of such players, you don't count them by numbers. You don't see that how many runs they have scored. He has definitely scored a runs 300 350 runs in this season, and at what strike rate is striking the ball, which turns the game on its head out of nowhere. So at coming somebody at number 6, scoring runs at 173 ka strike rate, giving you those crucial 60 30 40 50 runs in the death over, that is the ability of Nicholas Pooran, which Sunrisers could not explore, which Punjab Kings could not explore. They did their part to it, but I guess Lucknow Super Giants have given him a home, and they have asked him to do exactly what was needed of him. So a brilliant campaign so far. we would love to see more of Nicholas Puran because he still has age behind him and a lot of cricket in him left.
Correct.
Definitely. So yeah, थोड़ा सा जल्दी लग रहा है आज, but we have already covered all the topics. सब हो गया टॉपिक्स एंड अगला जो वीक होगा वो लास्ट वीक होगा हमारा आईपीएल कवरेज का, क्रिकेट फ्रॉम द स्टैंड्स के आईपीएल कवरेज का, एंड दैट इज गोइंग टू बी द फिनाले वीक ऑफ आईपीएल एज वेल. So
Absolutely.
lots of interesting things would be there to talk about in the next week for sure. And लंबा होने वाला है पॉडकास्ट, अभी से पता चल रहा है हम लोग को, बट आज के लिए तो फिर इतना ही होगा. सो दैट वुड बी द एंड ऑफ द टॉपिक एंड आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट द ऑडियंसेस टू कीप वॉचिंग अस. एंड जो कल नहीं किया आज हम लोगों ने थोड़ा सा कवर कर लिया है, जो भी थोड़ा बहुत टीम्स का बाकी था, नेगेटिव्स एंड पॉजिटिव्स जो भी कवर करना बाकी था सब पे अभी बोल के हो गए. एंड सो वी वोंट बी कवरिंग दीज टीम्स एनीमोर, बट जो चार टीम्स अभी क्वालिफाई करेंगे आज के मैच में जो डिपेंड करता है, वी वुड लव टू सी कि कौन चार टीम क्वालिफाई कर
जिस
पाएगा, चार
जिस
टीम के
जिस
ऑपोजिट
हिसाब से
बाकी.
करंट मैच जा रहा है, आई फील अंबानी साहब ने चारों टीम को यूपीआई कर दिया along with the gods, rain gods,
You
because
shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that on a podcast. You
because
shouldn't say that.
Mumbai RCB are already struggling with Mahipal Longnaur just got stumped out, and more than the clouds are gloomy, RCB's fortunes to reach the playoffs
But
seems
I
gloomy.
guess RCB has always struggled when it's damn grounds, you know. As
While
far as
bowling, while batting first in a such situation, it's very tricky. You should always
Absolutely,
ball first. So if a
absolutely,
score goes like this and you have very less score in the 5 overs match, it might be a
absolutely.
bit tricky here. So let's see how does it go. It seems difficult, but you never know. Mohammad
yeah,
Siraj comes out of nowhere and just turns things around for RCB.
yeah,
And
definitely.
RCB would be defending on this small ground, which is yet another task in itself. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
So we would like to conclude this here for now, and let's go to our homes and enjoy the match.
Absolutely.
So we will just say goodbye to our viewers and request them to come back the next week. So it would be goodbye from us here at the Cricket from the Stands, from me, Rujula, from Pawan, and from Kannan. And we will be back another week with the finale week of IPL. So stay tuned with us and have a good night, everybody. Bye.